Today we're speaking with David, aka Xiaoshan, who is a popular Douyin influencer. Thank you, David, for chatting with us today. Can you introduce yourself first?
Yeah, sure. I've been involved with the Chinese media for almost 6-7 years now. I've done multiple work in terms of media, education, consulting, serving the Chinese community here and abroad.
A lot of Chinese people know about the famous DouYin and your name. Are you related to him in any way, or?
You know, this is a common question. My first encounter with him was actually in 2016. And when people would see me in DouYin, and they found it so strange that two foreigners are using Chinese to communicate. And they said, oh, DouYin, like, well, I thought of Xiaoshan. And then from that point forward, I was called Xiaoshan. My relationship with him, very good friend, good mentor, someone who gives very good advice.
I know you speak Chinese, and how did you learn it?
So this goes back to when I was about 12, actually. My mother gave me all the Bruce Lee movies. I really related to him in the aspect of the hardship he went through. Like, his success was not something that just happened. Like, that's the truth. Like, he went through tremendous racism, tremendous rejection, tremendous just pain. Because I was socially awkward as a kid. But with that being said, I started to learn Chinese. I noticed that Chinese people really just started to treat me with a lot of love, a lot of respect, a lot of kindness. And it was just a nice feeling just to really just be with Chinese people. I thought that everything about Chinese people was just so lovely and wonderful. When I first started learning Chinese, Zhou Jilan was actually the one that caught my attention. And I remember I was watching a movie called Fearless, 霍元甲, Zhou Jilan, who was singing the theme song.
Yeah.
And I hear it, and you hear Chinese elements, rap elements, you know, so complete fusion of Chinese and Western culture mixed together. And I thought, wow, this is so special. He's very poetic when he sings, I found, and represents Chinese culture in a very unique, modern kind of way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of fusion in this music as well. So let's talk about your experiences in China, and what were your general impressions or experiences while you were there?
I was about 19 years old at the time. So I had a friend from Hong Kong, and he says, hey, do you think you could come out here? Well, and I landed in Hong Kong, totally different situation, but in a good way. I felt like it was so lively, so different from what I'm used to in Canada. Yeah, I just loved it ever since, and I never really left. I kept coming back and forth, and I stayed there for probably a total of nearly 10 years in total, pre-COVID.
As a Chinese TikTok Douyin influencer, how is your job related to China in your sort of everyday life?
I wanted to be one of those foreigners that either are comedic or funny, or do understand Chinese culture, or able to express their views of Chinese culture from a Western standpoint.
Okay.
There's always something new. I think no matter how deep you go with Chinese culture or people or its society, you'll never go deep enough.
And what are some of your favorite aspects about China as a whole?
Well, I think one thing that touched me about the Chinese people is how devoted you guys are to family. Like, yeah, of course we love our mom and dad, and we love our sisters and our uncles, like we have that, but there's no deep loyalty, deep devotion, not the same way that Chinese people have it. I think there's a word in Chinese you guys use called 孝顺. I don't even know how to translate this word into English. It's like hard to explain. I think these are things that made me really rethink everything.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience and your followers?
If they're English speaking, really learn more Chinese culture. Try and understand, because I think the attitude in the West is unfortunately negative feeling, and it shouldn't be that way. And I think it's because of the lack of understanding of the history of China and the West, lack of understanding of why China became the way it became, lack of understanding of where Chinese culture, where the roots, how far they do go. So I think to eliminate that negative feeling is create more understanding.
Yeah, understanding is the first step. So genuinely connecting with another culture, right? Well, thank you so much again for chatting with us.
Thank you.